guys, Christina here. So today I want to continue again on with the smoking series that I've been kind of walking through and sharing. A couple of points that I wanted to share specifically were moments where I saw the point of smoking as a solution to my experience in a moment and how I talked myself out of it. The first point was when I was a month into quitting smoking and I was home on a weekend and I was just doing stuff around the house, cleaning, laundry, nothing too eventful, and this point of wanting to smoke came up. And this was still initially in the beginning. I, in that moment, saw, okay, my experience is I want to smoke. And part of it was because I was bored. I didn't have much going on. I didn't have anything pressing to do. I had space to fill. The point that I saw within me as a solution, instead of going to just smoke, as that's what my experience or the want within me was to go and smoke to fill the space that I had, I instead told myself, within myself, I said, look, I decided to quit smoking and that is what I'm going to do. So it sucks, the experience right now, it sucks. It's not pleasant, it's very challenging, but I need to just accept the fact that I'm not going to smoke. And that's my decision, and that's what is happening. And within me it was like this point of just accepting the fact that it's not going to happen. Allowing myself to put myself into a phase of grieving because it was really the end. I was not going to smoke anymore. I decided I quit smoking and that is the action I was going to take. And so despite my wanting to smoke, I very gently but firmly told myself it's not going to happen. And so it was a point of me kind of ushering myself into the acceptance of the reality of this is my life now. I'm not smoking in these moments. And it was like a point of having to face the end, having to face the death of me as a smoker, and acknowledging, yes, it is not a fun experience. It is very hard, and I'm very sad, and I feel very lost, and I feel very uncomfortable and just not myself, but I will get through it. And for right now, I just need to accept I'm not going to smoke. And so it was a really interesting point for me because I could see this, as I mentioned in another vlog, the strength I wasn't really aware of kind of stepped forth within me, and I had to tell that smoker side of myself that it's not going to happen, we're not going to smoke. It was a point of me having to be there for myself and telling myself it's not a solution for me moving forward. And so it was just a point of pushing myself to just get to that point of acceptance that this is not going to happen. I'm not taking that option anymore. I'm not smoking. So it was really cool actually, because it just showed me the strength within myself that I didn't know was there, but appreciated so much in the moment, because it just showed me that I was clear in my decision and I knew what I would have to do, and that is not smoke. And it's really hard to do that when it's something in a moment you really want to do, especially as an addiction. It's very hard. So that was the first point that I wanted to share as a moment that I talked myself back from smoking. The next point was not too long ago actually. I don't often think about smoking throughout the days now, and I'm coming up on 5 months not smoking. But there was a moment where my partner and I got into a tiff, and we were in a disagreement and kind of in conflict and not communicating on the same page. So I removed myself. I just stepped outside into our yard and into the back and kind of played with the dog a bit to kind of settle myself down and stabilize and to, ground myself a bit so I didn't get wrapped up in the emotion of the conflict. But within me initially, as soon as I stepped outside, I saw this point of I want a cigarette right now. That was my solution to my experience, which was I was very angry. I was very frustrated. I felt like I was hitting my head against a wall. I felt like stuck. You know those moments when you're in an argument and you just feel like it's going nowhere and you guys are not communicating and it just is not working and you just feel stuck in that moment. That was my experience, and my solution to that was have a cigarette. I really wanted one. It was the first time in a few months where I felt like I could really go buy a pack of cigarettes and smoke right now. Despite all the reasons I know why I quit, and despite knowing how that first one's going to taste, knowing it's going to be gross, I really saw myself lighting up in that moment. Immediately what I saw as well within that was this awareness and reminder again of myself, saying to myself, these are the moments you learn to deal without smoking. These are the experiences you have to face and get to know and learn how to move yourself through without smoking. So as uncomfortable and challenging and so hard that moment was, I saw that this is where I actually apply the change within myself. This is where I actually learn what I never let myself learn when I smoked. Who am I in a moment without a cigarette, just with my experience, raw and as they are? How do I deal? Who am I? How do I direct myself? How do I move myself forward? And so it was cool because, again, it was like that strength, that awareness that came through me that was very clear in guiding me, saying, this is what I did this for. This is the reason I'm doing this, is to learn how to live without smoking. And these moments are part of that. Smoking is not an option. It is not a solution. It is a temporary fix. It's a temporary cover-up in how I used it. And so it's not the solution to my experience. I have to be the solution to my experience. So it was really cool because I've had, a handful of these moments where I'm really astonished and surprised, but also so grateful and proud of myself, where this awareness and the strength would come through to talk myself out of the reaction of wanting to just smoke as a solution to what I was experiencing. Knowing that it's not a long-term solution. It doesn't address the real issues. It doesn't address why I'm frustrated. It doesn't address why I'm bored. It doesn't address why I exist in a routine without awareness. And I just do it at this moment, during this day, because that's what I've always done. It doesn't address that. My process with the Destiny I process in utilizing self-honesty and self-forgiveness has really developed this self-awareness. Questioning my thoughts, questioning my nature, questioning my behavior, why I am the way that I am, who am I in these moments, with or without something, challenging the dependencies I have, challenging the ideas and beliefs I have about myself, challenging the self-definitions I have. It's this process that I've been on for 10 years that has developed this self-awareness within me. I, through applying the tools and the principles of the Destiny I process, have established an awareness within myself that comes up in the most subtle moments, but it's strong and it's willful, and it is 10 years worth of practice finally established within myself that I can trust and I can count on. Really, it took me failing a lot and falling a lot, and making mistakes and trying things over and over again. It's really been my inner journey to get to know myself through the Destiny I process and the Destiny tools that has established the awareness and the strength I am now, what I live now, and who I am, and how I decide to direct myself in my life. That is the outcome, that is the effect of the tools and the principles that I've learned through Destiny and through those walking the Destiny process. And it's amazing because I never saw myself as strong. I never saw myself as able to walk through addictions. But when I started this process 10 years ago, I was addicted to marijuana, and I was addicted to cigarettes, and I was addicted to lust, and I was addicted to desire, and I was addicted to insecurity and self-doubt. And I have walked through those points. I have released myself from an addiction to marijuana. I have released myself from an addiction to cigarettes. I have released myself from my self-doubt and my insecurities. To an extent, I mean, it's a process I'm still walking, but the level of self-awareness and self-confidence that I experience now is, I never thought it was possible. I never saw myself as worth anything, and I realized that I am the only one that can give me value. And I found value in my actions, in applying these tools and principles, and considering what's best for everyone and what's best for me. I would not have changed anything in the last 10 years. Shout out to my Destiny community that has stood as an amazing example for me and has shared themselves out loud for people like me to find support within. I see you, and I'm grateful for you.